Hello, friends. Father Frank Pavone here, National Director of Priests for Life. Wednesday, March the 23rd, 2022. What did I do from morning to night? This is my daily diary update. Well, I was here at my desk very early in the morning on Wednesday, catching up on paperwork, reading memos and interactions with pro-life leaders, etc. And then I went into the chapel and said Mass, taped it for broadcast later in the morning. Had my administrative phone call as usual at 7:45, and then the staff briefing at 8:30. Now, the staff briefing was an extended briefing once again because we have our pastoral team here and off-location staff, so it's a week of meetings, updates, planning, and so forth, fellowship, prayer, meals together. So that staff briefing lasted over an hour, and then we continued meeting there in the staff room with our executive director. Our broadcast team is here. We're doing a lot of planning for programs, getting the pro-life message out over the airwaves, not just from our own studios and platforms, but in collaboration with many other outlets as well who are interested in our work. Once that was finished, right at 10 o'clock, we went into a meeting with the pastoral team where we update one another on the progress of our pro-life products and of our website and of our social media and of our travels. So we went over all that in a meeting for about 45 minutes, came back to my desk and finished writing up a procedure for our studios where we're going to get an intern in our studios, and also we're expanding our production quality. And so I took information that had been given to me from various staff, and as I do with other aspects of our work, I like to write up these documents that contain all the different aspects of what we have to keep in mind as we carry out these activities. So I wrote up that procedure document I should say I finalized it. A lot of it we had pulled together already for preparation for a meeting later on where we would go over that studio procedure. We'll get to that in a moment. So I was at my desk, then we had a 12 o'clock lunch with the whole staff, a pizza lunch in our cafe. That was very nice. And then right after that, I went into the TV studio again, taped for the evening program, Praying for America. Right after that half-hour taping from 1:15 to 1:45, I went into the Mother Teresa conference room, and we had a pastoral team meeting about the elections of 2022. So we talked about that for about 45 minutes, made some plans, and then at 3 o'clock, we resumed our meeting, and we talked about our monthly book reading. And actually, it was a book written by one of our pastoral team members, Brian Kemper, the book about pro-life is the new punk rock, a little bit of a history of the youth pro-life movement in the United States. We had that meeting, and then at 3:30, I did a public presentation in the metaverse. The metaverse is the newest version of the internet. It is a full embodied experience. You don't just look at something on a screen. You enter in by virtual reality to the scene. So you actually turn around and you see other people and you see other things. It requires its own whole explanation and experience. But we did one of the first pro-life presentation. We did the first pro-life presentation in there some weeks ago, and this was the second public pro-life presentation given in the metaverse. I talked about the Day of the Unborn Child, which is March 25th. Did that presentation, continued some work at my desk at 4:30 with our executive director and our broadcast team. We had a meeting about our broadcast procedures, bringing everyone up to date on the latest best practices. After that meeting, I took some of our pastoral team to dinner nearby, 5:30 dinner, simple, at the local hotel where they stay when they're visiting here in Titusville. Came back from that, back to my desk, did a few quiet responses to emails, and then at 7:30 p.m., we had the Good Shepherd Call. This is a national Zoom call that we coordinate each month for clergy. So we had priests and deacons together with our experts on healing after abortion, Dr. Teresa Burke and Kevin Burke, the co-founders of Rachel's Vineyard, and of course, Janet Morana, co-founder of Silent No More. And we spent a good hour on the phone with clergy from across the country talking about, the theme was how abortion harms the grandparents of the aborted baby. So we talked about that, some pastoral angles of that. It's a beautiful teaching seminar that we do regularly. When that was finished, about 8:30, I got on the phone with our executive director and our chief technology officer slash administrative person helping us run the organization. And we did an evening update call for about 45 minutes. And that was very fruitful. As I was doing that, I was getting my daily walk, and I do a vigorous walk for a half hour each day. And it's quite compatible with having these phone calls and other kind of business like that. In the course of my desk work during this day of Wednesday, March 23rd, I also did some work on Abortion Awareness Recovery Month, which is April, which we're taking a leadership role in that. And I sent out some information, prepared some information for other leaders and pro-life activists, which we'll be distributing around the country. That was the day, Wednesday, March 23rd, pretty straightforward, and that's what we want to be always with you, transparent, straightforward, no nonsense. Here's what we're doing, here's what we're trying to do, here's how we're doing it. You will always know, and thanks for coming and following these updates. God bless you, we'll talk to you soon.